It started like any other Friday evening. My son, Alex, had just returned from football practice, all sweaty and tired. He tossed his gear bag near the hallway and called out, "Mom, I'm home." A few minutes later, his teammate and close friend, Jake, came in behind him. Jake had been hanging around our house more often lately. He didn't come from the best home environment, and I always believed that if I could offer him a little peace and comfort, it might make a small difference in his life. He was a respectful kid, polite, quiet, and always grateful. Over the months, he had started to feel like extended family. That evening, the boys went straight to Alex's room to play video games and unwind. I stayed in the kitchen, prepping dinner and scrolling through my emails. About an hour later, I heard a knock on the kitchen door frame. It was Jake. "Hey Mrs. Thompson," he said, a little shyly. "Sorry to bother you, but do you have a toolkit or something? I'm trying to fix the strap on my helmet, and the buckle is stuck." I smiled. "Of course, I think we have one in the garage. Come with me." We walked into the garage together, and I rummaged through a drawer for the old red toolbox. As I handed it to him, Jake opened it and tried to find something small enough to pry the buckle loose. He struggled a little, and I noticed his hands were shaking. "Let me help," I said, reaching for the helmet. "I used to be pretty handy when Alex was younger." Jake chuckled nervously and handed it over. I took a closer look. The plastic latch was bent and wedged too tight. I found a screwdriver and gently worked it into the slot. After a few careful twists, it popped loose. "There we go," I said. Jake looked genuinely relieved. "Wow, thank you. I didn't think it would come out." "No problem," I said, smiling. "Sometimes it just takes a second try with the right angle." That should have been the end of it. Just a small moment of helping out a kid who needed it. But that moment stuck with me. Over the next few weeks, Jake came over more often, and I started to notice things, little things, but they added up. The way he always offered to help with chores, the way he seemed to linger in the kitchen when I was cooking. I brushed it off. He was just being polite, and I reminded myself that he was still a teenager, my son's age. I was just imagining things. One evening, Alex was out with friends and Jake showed up at the house by himself. He said he thought Alex would be home already, and I invited him in while he waited. We sat on the couch and made small talk about school, football, and movies. Then he said something that caught me off guard. "You're always really easy to talk to, Mrs. Thompson," he said quietly. I never really had that before. That's when it hit me, Jake was looking for more than just friendship. But I knew I had a choice to make. I could set a clear boundary, or I could let the situation become something it shouldn't. I took a deep breath. "Jake, I care about you. I really do. You're like part of our family now. But I need you to understand something. I'm your friend's mom. I'm here for you when you need someone to talk to, or a safe place to be. But that's where it ends. Do you understand?" He looked down and nodded. "Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything bad." "I know," I said. "You're not in trouble. You're a good kid, and I know life hasn't always been fair to you. But it's important to respect boundaries even when it's hard." After that conversation, things changed. Jake still came by sometimes, but not as often. He started spending more time with his own friends, and he seemed more focused on school and sports. He even got accepted into a local college program. Alex and I were both proud of him. Months passed, and one day I got a letter in the mail. It was from Jake. He was away at school now, and he wrote to thank me. He said that what I told him that night stayed with him, that it helped him make better decisions, and reminded him that even when life feels confusing, doing the right thing matters. Reading that letter made me cry, not because I was sad, but because I was grateful. Grateful that I trusted my instincts. Grateful that I chose the right path. And most of all, grateful that sometimes, just being there for someone in the right way can make a real difference. Looking back, I realize how important it is for adults to model the kind of respect and emotional intelligence we want younger people to have. Sometimes we don't get to pick the situations we're put in, but we get to choose how we respond. And that can be the difference between someone going down the wrong path or finding their way to something better. Jake is doing great now. He still sends updates occasionally. He's majoring in kinesiology and coaching at a youth football camp during the summer. I couldn't be prouder of him, not just for what he's doing, but for who he's become. As for Alex, he never knew the full story, and I think that's for the best. Some moments in life are meant to be lessons for us, quiet ones that shape who we are and how we carry ourselves forward. I'll never forget that season of our lives, or the lesson it taught me. Kindness is powerful, but it must always walk hand in hand with wisdom.